So, Legend of Freeway Rick, right, which Snowfall was based on, it was about his life, but the story does not tell you the exactities all the way through, as these stories usually don't. Even Goodfellas wasn't totally accurate. Billy Bats got beaten, tortured to death on a freeway where everybody was watching. You heard me? And assumedly, the killers are dead. I'll leave it at that. Different reasons. We'll leave it at that. We let bygones be bygones. God bless to both sides. That's Gotti's family. Gotti got revenge on Tommy for Foxy and Billy Bats, but that's another story for another time. That's Italian Irish shit. Conway was in that. Jimmy. Cool dude. Died of cancer in prison, but back to Freeway. This is your story, brother. So Freeway was not a junkie. He never really did drugs on record. Freeway looked like a drug addict when he was selling drugs. His boys was driving his cars. They was wearing the Gucci and shit like that. Freeway looked like one of his customers. He had a case before, but I remember when I was a kid, he had a case before, I think he did 5 years. But he told on the police that the Strike Force police team that was abusing the right of what they was doing to him. They was trying to set him up. They wasn't really catching him. Danilo was helping him. So when it came down to it, he was a CIA operative, Danilo Blandone. When it came down to it, how the moral of the story goes, Rick does his 5 years, he comes out, he's not in the game no more. He's trying to change his community. He had dreadlocks, all that shit. Next thing you know, Danilo keeps hitting him up, as old friends do. Come on, let's do this one deal for this kids center that you're trying to build. You can get the money. Rick wanted the center so bad. There was a Democratic representative who talked about it, a female. How you doing, baby? She's older. I don't know if she passed away, God bless her. But LA was going through it. So anyway, he does the deal with Danilo, gets set up. Danilo sets him up. Danilo used to get him out of jail. Tell him when the Rolls was coming and all that. They was getting guns. Guns should be on trains. It was fucking bedlam, all right? It was the fucking 80s and 90s. It was all fucking getting in your people's minds. But the world went on. Kids kept growing. I had sons and shit, we know. Anyway, and daughters. Anyway, and probably grandchildren. Anyway, so Rick has to fight his own case, does 20 years on top of a life sentence, and figures out how to get out in 20 years by learning how to read and write and count. Because Rick didn't know how to do most of that shit. Real talk.